Hey there, hope your week's going well. So I know a lot of you will be using social media at the moment as something of a solace during the period of lockdown when we're perhaps seeing less of friends and family in person. Those sorts of channels and the opportunity to create a community around us becomes even more important. But it's made me do a bit of analysis looking around how the eating disorders world does engage in social media and where sometimes it's appropriate and sometimes less so. When I mention that, I don't just mean about proana sites. So that proana term is often given to people that might be using accounts which are very deliberately perpetuating eating disorder behaviours, which we all know are completely just against any sense of reason and should be avoided like the plague. So, please stay clear of such accounts wherever you can. But actually, it's not just about that material. I also want you to think about other accounts and social media channels that you engage in that could be triggering to where you are in your journey. I think some people may be using their social media accounts meaning it with all best intention, but actually could be doing so in a way which is triggering to others. So when I mention that, I'm thinking particularly about where content is used to portray people's what I eat in a day kind of meals. Is that helpful? I think sometimes it's really helpful when it's showing people in positive stages of recovery where they're embracing full eating and not asking for analysis or verdict of other people. Where I worry about the oversharing of food is where I think sometimes we see somebody's plate of food and we're reminded that somebody is still potentially eating in an eating disordered fashion or eating in a compromised way. This may not be at all helpful for you and your recovery. Only you can make that decision as to whether looking at that content is helpful or harmful to you. And I would ask anybody who is putting that content out there, I would say, one, do you feel you are as far into your recovery journey as you are trying to portray yourself to be? Are you still in a state of mental hunger, which is actually making you continue to use food and pictures of food, discussion about food in an obsessive way? Because if you're then creating that as part of your social media channel, you could be perpetuating more problems for other people. So just consider the content that you are using, which is related to the eating disorders community. And likewise, if you are consuming that content by looking at it on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever it might be, just ask yourself if you're doing so in a healthy and constructive way or whether this is not actually helping you in your recovery. I'd really like some views of other people about what accounts they see, what they share themselves and what they think is helpful or harmful. Social media is a force for good, but it can also be a force for evil and can certainly be unhelpful, just as it can be constructive in eating disorders recovery. So please share with me what you think about that, and I'd be happy to open up a wider discussion about that. All right, have a good day in the meantime. Take care.